computer. Beautiful. Guys, we are recording. I am excited. It is October 27th, Wednesday, and your boy is back in Dallas, Texas. And I am just so happy and grateful to be in some warmth, to actually see some sun, to be by a pool, to make things happen and be with this team here again. So if there's some things that you guys are grateful for, drop it in the chat. I think it's extremely important. Listening to Jim Rohn over the past 7 minutes, he was saying those massive changes and success first start in those little things. And I think gratitude first starts in the little things, the ability to see, the ability to have Zoom, right? The ability to have clothes on our body, to eat food, the ability to go to the gym, walk here, take all these different things that we so much forget about. And I think it's important to remember that you can't be frustrated. You can't be sad. You can't be in a drought. You can't be depressed when you live in a state of gratitude. One thing that I found myself doing, and a lot of you have heard kind of some of the things have happened over the past 1 to 2 months, whether it's been with family or, some of my cryptos being hacked and different things like that, is, what helped me get out of that was just being in a massive state of gratitude, right? Whether it's something big, it's something small, but just living in a massive state of gratitude. And I think when you live in that frequency, you find yourself cherishing things so much, receiving so much more, doing so much more. I was talking to someone earlier and I said, when you feel helpless, get helpful, right? And I think a lot of times, and this has nothing to do with our training, but I think it's very, very important, is a lot of the times we're holding ourselves back because we're not just doing those little things. And so I want to start this call off with those little things, but we're going to jump right into this. Guys, I'm super excited about this training. This is a training that I've seen a couple times now. It's a training that I wanted to duplicate. It's a training that I wanted to pass on because I believe it's something that is super important. The pillars of success. A lot of times people are looking for the technicals, right? They're looking for, specific trainings that are going to help them go to the next level. And I think what's really, really important is to understand that one specific training isn't going to get you to the next level, right? One little lesson isn't going to get you to the next level. There's multiple things required, right? There's time, there's experience, there's losses, there's things that we have to go through in order to get to the next level. So I don't know if this training is going to be that push for you, right? That's going to help you hit the next rank or hit the next figure in your trading account or launch that next business or whatever it may be. But I think this training is going to be extremely pivotal in giving you some sense of direction, giving you things to work on, giving you things to focus on. A lot of the times we're just working, right? And we're getting nowhere because we don't know what we're working towards, right? We think we're grinding, but we're just scrolling through social media, right? We think we're trading, but we're just drawing a bunch of squiggly lines on the charts, right? So if we don't have something that we're working towards, if we don't have direction, it's very difficult for us to have success. Now, I'm not going to define success on this call. I'm not going to say, okay, at this point, you're going to become successful, right? I'm not going to talk about that because each and every single one of us have some different goal, right? Like there's some things that I'm really, really focused on right now that I'm really excited about. And, I'm going to put these 4 pillars into work for those specific things, right? So maybe for you, it's getting funded. Maybe for you, it's hitting chairman or hitting P600. Maybe for you, it's real estate. Maybe for you, it's your e-commerce store. Whatever that is for you, no matter what it is, these 4 pillars are going to directly relate to that success, right? To that accomplishment of success. And I think it's important as we go into this first pillar, the question you have to ask yourself, right? And this is what we're getting into now. We're going to start jumping right into this training because I promised it was going to be short, but you know how it is. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. But number 1 of the 4 pillars of success is skills, right? Skills. And we have to ask ourselves, how skilled are you right now? Right? How skilled are you right now? Right? David Amitié talks about the equation to success, right? Or what does he call it? The success equation or whatever it is, right? He says desire plus skills times faith, right? And so we have our desires, but it's not just you believing and saying, okay, well, I want to have $1 million, real estate portfolio. You can have that desire, you can have that faith that it's going to be done for you, but if you don't have the skills, it's not going to happen. Each and every single part of this equation is super, super important. And there's 7 skills that are necessary, right, for network marketing, right? There's 7 skills. Number 1, prospecting. And I'm not going to go into all these individually, right? That's training for another time. But you have to ask yourself, as I'm listing these off, right, we'll do that after. Let's just write these down. Number 1, prospecting. Write these down. These are important. Number 2, inviting. Number 3, presenting. Number 4, closing. Number 5, following up. Number 6, launching. And number 7, promotion. I'm going to drop those in the chat really quick. I know I went through them quickly, but you can read them in the chat, right? Prospecting, inviting, presenting, closing, following up, launching, and promotion. There was a quote that I heard from Jason Brown that I thought was really amazing. It might have been John Gorman or Jason Brown. He said, to make your first 6 figures, it's going to be completely based off skills. To make multiple 6 figures, it's going to be based off duplication. And to make 7, it's going to be based off promotion, right? So if you're in your process of pursuing your first 6 figures, and I think it's one thing to make 6 figures one time, right? You have like $100,000 trade or $100,000 month, whatever it may be. But I mean, continuously being able to make that, right? Making $8,000 a month on a continuous basis, that's what we're talking about here, right? Having the skills required to continuously make that. We're going to talk about duplication and promotion later, but right, what are your level of these skills? How good are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Really take some time and think about this, really retroflect, because we can talk about the skills. I can say they're important, but if you don't have self-awareness, which is the 4th pillar, we're going to talk about that at the end, right? Of these specific skills, you're never going to be able to grow. You're never going to be able to get to where you want to go. And so you have to admit and be okay. Maybe your prospecting isn't where it needs to be. Maybe you're not good at cold marketing. Maybe you're not good at warm marketing. Maybe you're actually really good at it, but you just don't do it every single day, right? So right next to each and every single one of those on a scale of 1 to 10, put where you're going to be, right? How good am I at prospecting? How good am I in inviting? How good am I in presenting, closing, following up, launching, promotion? We'll take a couple seconds here. I'm going to pause the recording. All right, I'm going to pause the recording and really take the next 60 seconds and grade yourself. 1 out of 10, what are you? All right, 1 out of 10, what are you? So as I turn the recording back on here for people that are watching this in the future, because I know there's events going on and team meetings and opportunity calls, this, that, and the other. Remember, you want to score these individually. Now, what I want you to do next to that is put December 31st. Some of you, man, I still remember this. Some of you, I hope you still have this. We did this training before, part of this training. And I said, on March 31st, I want you to come back to this training and see if you actually did what you wrote down. And so December 31st, go into your phone, right? Open up your iPhone, your Android, whatever you have. Go into reminders. And what I want you to do is set a reminder for 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whenever you wake up, or whatever time you want to do. You can do noon, I don't care, right? And say, check your note or check your skill set note, whatever it may be. Title it however you want to title it. And at the end of December 31st, I want you to rank yourself again. I want you to rank yourself again. Guys, these are the skill sets to be focused on, right? Go rewatch the cold and warm marketing training. Go rewatch how to do PS3. This week, presenting, you want to learn how to become an amazing presenter? Watch the Blitz calls this week. I don't care if you don't have a potential new business partner or a prospect. Go watch them, learn how they're doing it, right? Best way to learn how to close is to watch someone close for you. Make an intention to follow up. I'm really good at following. I'm super annoying when I follow up, because I'll follow up. Like I feel like I get people started with us because I message them so much. It's like the 7th exposure, and they're like, you know what, Tim, you've been consistent. I probably should get started. right? Grade yourself on launching. If you're not good at launching, get a P6, a P1, someone to do a launch for you. Promotion, right? Promotion, man, that's like that's a whole entire training in itself. I'm actually doing a training for a specific team right after this call at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm specifically training just on promotion, right? They asked me to teach them just about promotion, right? So in X amount of days from now, 2 months and 4 days, whatever, 64 days, if that's the official number, I don't know if it is or not, 65, 70, right? Grade yourself again. And I think that's really where you're going to be able to see, okay, from October 27th to December 31st, did I grow any closer to that desired success? And if your numbers are the same, or they're even worse, it's probably because, like we were saying earlier, you're working, but you're working towards nothing. And so if you don't know what you need to work on, if honestly for success, I literally could have said for the 4 pillars, screw the 4 pillars. Do you even know what you want to be successful in? That's probably the first one. We probably just spend 15, 20 minutes really writing down where and what we want to be successful in. So remember, to make your first 6 figures, it's going to be completely based off skills. To make multiple 6 figures, it's based off duplication. And to make 7, it's based off promotion, right? So let's talk about the duplication part now. The duplication part is super important, right? Because pillar number 2 is developing leaders. Remember, it's not what you can do, it's what you can duplicate. It doesn't matter if you're a 10 out of 10 on all those skill sets. It doesn't matter, because if you're the only one that's a 10 out of 10, you're going to work till the day that you die. I would much rather have 100 people doing one thing a day than me doing 100 things. Guys, this business, in order to, for example, I'll use chairman for an example, right? And I'll kind of talk about even the process of going chairman 25. Going chairman, there's very few people that can do it alone, maybe 1% of people. Right? You got like the Brandon Boyds and the Michael Angel Martins. They got like 3,000 personals. There's those kind of people. But let's talk about like the normal, right? The reality. Those are anomalies, right? You have to develop leaders. You're not going to hit chairman off 500 customers. Why would you want to do that in the first place? That makes no sense, right? The average chairman has anywhere between 80 to 150 personal signups. So you still got to work. Right? You still got to showcase the skill sets. You got to show people what you want to do. People don't care what your mouth does. They care about what your feet do, right? So if you want people in your business to build, you have to build. You want people in your business to trade, you have to trade. You want people to talk in the chats, you have to talk in the chats. You want people to go to convention, you got to go to convention, right? They have to see you do it. In order for you to go next level, you have to duplicate what you're doing. This is the same in corporate America. This is the same in sports, religion, everything, right? You have to develop the next level of leaders. Now, I'm not going to go in massive detail because that could be a whole other training in itself. And this is why I was telling you, is that this training isn't going to be one thing. This training is going to be a multitude of things. And you need to go out there and go research, go out there and start asking questions. If developing leader is where you struggle, what do you think your first question should be after this call? Tim, how do I develop leaders? Right? I've been on so many one-on-ones in the last 2 weeks, right? Because in our P600 chat, we've been focusing on development. We've been focusing on, promotion. We've been focusing on the little things, right? Training the leaders so they can go out there and go duplicate the information with their team. And one thing I've been doing is focusing a lot on developing leaders, because this is what I understand. If I don't develop leaders, I can't go to the next level myself. I don't want to sign up 1,250 people. But what if I signed up 100 of them and I showed the 10, 20 people that want to build how to do the same exact thing? This is why I believe, right, if you can go platinum 150 and you can help one other person do the same exact thing, I think you have potential to go chairman. Chairman's just 177 platinum 150s. That's it. So if you duplicate yourself 177 times, you can go chairman. And obviously the same thing with P600s and different things like that. I think it's like 47 P600s, and yeah, I'll do the math for you right now. I got the numbers, right? I haven't said this in a while. Yeah, 41 P600s, right? It's 16 P1000s, 6 P2Ks, and 2 P5s. So really think about that. Are you more focused, right? And this could be a breakthrough for you right now. Let's say you're a P1000, you want to go P2. Are you more focused on you hitting P2000, or are you more focused coming to the realization that P2000 is just 2 to 3 P1000s? Let me do the right math here. I mean, I should have pulled these numbers out. I didn't even know I was going to go this direction. 2 to 3 P1000s, 6 P600s, and what is it? 25 P150s. What is your focus on? Think about that. Like that could just be the breakthrough right there. If you're a P600 and you're struggling to go to P1000, is it because you're more focused on your rank, or are you focused on, or are you not focused on helping others hit that next rank? So number one, skill sets. Number two, duplicating those skill sets and developing leaders. Guys, you have to develop leaders. You have to build a team of people around you. I tell people this all the time. It's like in anything in the world, you have to build a team. Even if you don't want to be a professional network marketer, you want to be the best trader in the world, do you not think those people have teams of people around them? Sports, they have to build a team of people, right? If you open up a McDonald's, you got to build a team of people. Insurance, you have to build a team of people around you, right? Like you want to own real estate, you have a team of people, right? Like I had a real estate meeting today, right? From 6 to right now. That's why I was like rushing. The link came out a little bit late. I was like, all right, I'm just throw some Jim Rohn on and answer these messages really quick, right? I'm building a team of people around me because I know, number one, I'm lazy, right? And I love leverage. But number two, I know I'm not an expert in that field. So what do I have to do? If I want to get the most results, I have to build a group of people around me. So let's look at this business. If we want to get the best results, we have to build a group of leaders around us. And so a lot of the time it's, we don't want to do the extra work for someone else because we're so much focused on ourselves, but that's really the thing that's holding you back. So number one, skill sets. Number two, developing leaders. Number three, the third pillar of success. The third pillar of success, work ethic. And this is hard for some people. This is hard for some people. I don't know why this is such a hard one. Like I loved Mike's call on Monday. That was, his call was so good. Like I'm putting that in like the list of best calls Mike has ever done and best calls that I have ever been on. If you haven't seen it, let me know. I think I'm gonna repost the recording tonight, right? Because it's like you want to be successful here, but like think about it like this: like if you're just not feeling it, like let's say you wake up and you're like, I'm just not feeling it today. Do you call your boss and you're just like, hey, I don't want to show up today? Say it was number three is work ethic. Like let's say like you wake up and I see Taylor's on the call. Taylor, for example, right? The babies are crying. You just say, you know what? Today, I ain't gonna be a mom. We gonna leave them in the crib all day today. No, right? Everything in life, you have to take responsibility for. I want to be dad for a day. Yeah, she said that because the chat. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. He's going to see this recording. I just called you out. My bad. But no matter what it is, it's crazy to me. You want this success. This is the easiest way I'll say it. The harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. You ever hear that? People tell, like, I've heard this sometimes, right? Oh, you're so lucky. You just get to do that. Like, I know people in my life, very good friends. They want to do everything that I do, but they don't want to do any of the work. They want to travel, but they're not willing to take the leap of faith to start a business. They want to make more money. You guys get the point. The harder you work, the luckier you get. You have to work every single day. If you're going to give someone 40 hours a week, at least give yourself 40. If you're going to build someone else's business for 40 hours a week, at least give yourself 40. I remember Jim Rohn. This is why I love Jim Rohn so much. And I've said this quote so many times. I'm sure you guys are sick of it. But he said, if you can survive this industry for 5 to 10 years, you'll be wealthier than your wildest imagination. He's not saying it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. He's saying it's going to take time. It's going to be hard. But that's why most people don't get the wealthier than your wildest imagination, because they're not willing to put in the work. I've heard people screaming like, I've heard people screaming, chairman, for years. This is gonna, like, Houston's going to be like my 10th convention, probably 12th. It's up there. Like, it's way up there. And it's so funny to me, even some of you on this call, you're going to scream chairman. You're going to feel, I'm a chairman. Well, I know very few people that do it. I get on launch calls with people and they tell me these big grand goals, and then 3 months later they quit on themselves. Guys, to be successful, you have to work. Entrepreneurs are the craziest people in the world. This is why. Entrepreneurs give up a 9 to 5 for a 24/7. Like, think about your job right now and what your job pays you. Right? Let's just say, your job pays you 40 grand a year. What is that? What's 40 grand divided by 12? $3,300 a month, right? Minus taxes, you're probably making $2,500 a month, right? Let's just say you're a P2, right? You're making $2,000 a month. You're working 40, 50 hours a week. In order for you, if we were to use time as an example, to make 6 figures, 8K a month, right? 8 times 12 is 100,000 or something along the lines of that. I'm not good at math today, right? Someone can correct me in the chat if they want. You would have to work triple the amount of time, meaning that you would work 24 hours a day for the rest of your life just to make that dollar amount. So what makes you think going from $2,000 a month at your job to going to chairman 10 is going to require the same amount of work? It's not normal. Making $10,000 a month is not normal. Really, guys, take some time. This is something I used to spend a lot of time on. And maybe this is why I was so negative for such a long period of time. But I used to look up the average incomes of people. I used to be obsessed. Do you guys know the average millennial income? And this is probably not right anymore. This is just the research I've done in the past. It's like $20,000 to $24,000 a year. It's like 20 to 27. That's it. The average college grad is like 35 a year. The average household is 55. But the average standard of living, I think it's 51. This is it. The average household makes $55,000 a year. But the average standard of living, the amount of money spent, is $55,000. That means on average in America, this is just an average. I know it's probably worse, probably who knows, right? Everyone's a little bit different. It depends on the demographic and different things like that. The average American is going in $4 grand of debt a year. I don't know why I'm laughing about that. The average American goes in debt $4 grand a year. And you're willing to work harder at a job that probably doesn't pay you enough. They pay you just enough to keep you there, just enough to forget about your dreams, just enough to get by. But you're not willing to do the work on yourself to get to the success you actually want. This pillar is, I don't have any cool quotes or any little tricks or any things of inspiration. You just got to work. It was funny. I don't know if I should say this. Let me think about this for a second. I'll say it. I'm going to say it. I was super pissed one day, super mad. I wasn't really mad. Maybe I was just having a bad day. Right. And we had a leadership call and no one showed up. some people showed up. The regulars always show up, right? That's why the regulars have, 7-figure portfolios now, and they're doing the things of their dreams because they show up, right? 95% of success, according to what's his name? Not Eric Worre, the guy that spoke at SummerSlam, right? Is showing up. Marcellus 2.0. And this is why I said to the leaders, I wish I had the message. Eric Thomas, thank you. I wish I had the message. And I was like, guys, like, you don't understand. Like, I have 2 other streams of income outside of I Am that matches what I'm making residually from I Am. And here was the crazy part. Passively. Like this month alone, right, I was traveling, I made $2,800 on 1 unit. Passively. I didn't do shit. I did nothing. I traveled. I went to Utah. I went to Denver. I was in Chicago, Utah, Denver. I was moving around. I didn't have to deal with the customers. I didn't have to deal with the cleanup. I didn't have to do anything. I paid someone to do it for me. Right? Because I built, what did I say? I built the team of people around me. I said, do you guys think like me just showing up and working 12, 14, 16 hours every single day for this amount of income, like, is just something that I'm just doing for you? I kind of doing it for you. But I told him, I said, guys, listen, like, I'll stop doing it. You want me to chill? I went from chubby chairman to regular chairman. I'm gonna go to chilling chairman now. I ain't doing shit. But I understand to be successful, to go to the next level, right? You have to work. And there's no reason, guys, I'm in some amazing chats. I'm privy to some amazing information. And every single day, the way I see Matt and Jason work, there's no gosh dang, how 900,000 divided by 12. God, 750 months. What's 750 divided by 12? 62. There's no reason they make 750 times more money than I make a year from I Am. Like what Chairman 10 would take 62 years to catch up to Chairman 750. There's no reason they're working harder than me every single day and I'm making less than they are. You know why? It's crazy to me. I think so many people look at Mike and like, I wish I had what Mike had. I wish I had Mike's account. Mike, I guarantee, wakes up earlier than every single person on this call and goes to bed much later than every single person on this call. I know because I text him at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's up for Go Live in the morning, and I'm not up for Go Live in the morning. So I know because he's sending me messages in the morning. I'm not responding to, it's like 9 o'clock. He's like, you just woke up, didn't you? I was like, yeah, bro, my bad. Right. And so like, you get the point. You have to work. You have to grind. You have to do it. You have to learn the skill sets. You have to duplicate those skill sets, and you got to work. You got to work. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna leave that one because I think you guys got the point. I think you got the point. Number 4, right? So we said number 1, skill sets. Number 2, developing leaders or duplication. Number 3, work ethic. Number 4, this is a really, really big one. This is the one that, in my opinion, I think most people lack this one. Like most people really, really lack this one, maybe because of a paradigm, maybe because of fear, maybe because of not wanting to accept it. But number 4, self-awareness. Self-awareness. How aware are you of you? How aware are you of your business? Let's talk about the business one first, because the easiest example that I've taught on the most, like, comes to my mind. Like, really, how aware are you of your business? Like, do you take inventory of your business? Like, do you know, like, who's placed where, how much GV you have per leg, who's closest to the next rank? Like, serious question. Like any other business in the world, is there any successful business that doesn't take inventory? Like, could McDonald's operate without knowing how many patties they have in the bag? Could Starbucks operate without knowing how many coffee beans they have? Could banks operate without knowing how much money they're able to get out of the ATMs? Could bars operate without knowing how much beer or liquor or whatever they have? The ice cream machine, I don't know about that, right? That's some conspiracy stuff over there. That I know they got the ice cream, the machines just don't work. They got something going on. Whoever works at McDonald's, you let us know. There's something's going on. I'm pretty sure they're just lying. Whatever. Every business takes inventory. So are you even aware of where your business is at? That's like, a lot of people want to, like I always say this, they want to take the leap of faith, right? They want to take this big quantum leap in their business, but they don't even know the ground that they're standing on. How are you going to take a leap if you're in water? How are you going to take a leap if the foundation is cracking, right? Or there's holes in it. It's about to break, like cement, right? You have to become self-aware of those things, right? You have to become aware of what's going on. If you're feeling confused, you're feeling you don't know where to go, it's because you don't even know where to start. Guys, trust me, you will feel so much better sound, like you're going to feel good when you actually know your business. And this doesn't just start at chairman. Guys, at P150, I don't know why I would do this. Like, I would check my back office every day. I'm like, oh, well, they're still in. And I knew they were going to be in, but I would check it every single day because in my mind, it was like when I was an accountant, the first thing I did was, number one, get coffee because I was like, damn, I hate my life. Right? I need some caffeine to get me out of this current reality I'm living in. Right? But number two, I would turn my computer on. I would open up Microsoft Outlook. I would see my calendar for the day. I would have my emails. I would know what was going on all the time. It's the same thing with your business. When you're a P150, when you're a P600, when you're a P1000, and you sign someone up, do you know exactly where to place them? Because you know exactly who lives in Seattle. You know, you get someone from Chicago started that lives on the north side. You know exactly where your team is, who is on the north side. I'm not saying you have to use the Excel sheet that I've used or that I've trained on. But what I'm saying is, like, are you aware? Do you know? Like, this is one thing that I've done really well at, is I'll go to someone who's like 5 people in their business or 7 people in their business, and I'll be like, man, you're 2 P150s away from making $600 a month, $150 a week. Do you know, like, $600 a month is like having 50 grand in your bank account at like 5% interest? Like those are the little things. You don't even know who's in your downline. Let's say you P2s, P5s that are on this call or watching this recording. You're 200, 300, 400 people deep in your business, but you don't know who's at the bottom of it. And momentum's not going to start from your leaders. I'm going to be honest with you. Most leaders are lazy as shit. It just is what it is. Leaders aren't the ones hopping on the call. Leaders aren't the one bringing in the newest people. Typically, leaders aren't the ones that are even the most excited. And that's going to blow. That's going to get people like, whoa, what do you mean? That's going to confuse some of you. But honestly, what happens more, P1000s or P150s? So where do you think most excitement's at? At the bottom. Because more people at the bottom are more grateful for that P150 than someone who's a P5 who hasn't looked at their back office in 6 months or just collecting checks. And that's why they're stuck there. That's why the P1 is still the P1, the P2 is still the P2, even the Chairman 10 is still the Chairman 10. You have to be self-aware of your business. Number 2 is talk about self-awareness of yourself. This is a tough one. This may not be Tim's cup of tea. We may need to throw the Weavers in here and Mike for this one, but self-awareness. Most of the time, because you aren't aware of what you're doing, you're allowing yourself to sabotage yourself. I say this all the time. People are consistent. Each and every single one of us on this call right now is extremely consistent. The question we have to ask ourselves, though, is what are we consistent in? Are we consistent in waking up late? Are we consistent in not doing our DMOs? Are you consistent in, playing 2K every single day? Are you consistently eating unhealthy? Consistently being a bum? Like, what are you consistent in? Or are you consistent in those 7 things we talked about? Prospecting every single day, inviting to the call. Guys, you have 10, how many people are on that flyer? Like 8 or 9 of the top 100 earners in the whole, not the company, the whole industry, all of network marketing. The industry that has literally created the most millionaires for the past 30 plus years. Like, how many people have you invited to those calls? How many one-on-ones have you gone to Starbucks? How many people have you met at Panera Bread? Or of all the people you talked to this year, how many of them have you actually followed up with? When someone got started with you, did you actually get them launched with someone who has the results that you want? This call specifically, right? This call specifically, did you promote anything that I said in the description of this call to your team? Those things are going to begin to happen when you actually become self-aware of who you are. Guys, remember, we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. You can say you want that Lambo all day long, but if you have a Camry mindset, you're going to get a Camry. And a Camry work ethic too. Right? You have to become self-aware of yourself. You have to really sit down. It's like a lot of us, right? Specifically for the building, because trading has been lit. Like this past quarter, it's been lit. I'm just going to be honest. Like it's been great. I have no complaints. Right? And there's nothing wrong. I used to have a Camry. Don't hate on Toyota. Toyota is like the best car manufacturer. That shit will last you like 50 years. Nothing wrong with having a Camry. I'm just giving you an example. Right? Don't be hating on it. Great gas mileage, right? You save like 120 grand. You can go and I guess buy Shiba and become a billionaire or something. Who knows? Right? But a lot of us, if we keep talking about Toyotas, I'm gonna start talking about the new Bronco, and it's gonna be lit. Maybe that was a bad example because I'm sidetracked. Let's get back into it. Right? A lot of us had a retracement. And a lot of us didn't catch the learning lesson. And that's why we've stayed in it. I'm not going to say we because I refuse to accept that in my reality, but us, whomever, you. It's because you didn't realize that your true career was going to begin after your first failure. Like, honestly, I don't think your network marketing career begins until you have a massive retracement. Because in that retracement, you're going to learn how much you actually know. You're going to learn what your true belief level is. It's so funny to me. People will leave people's business. They're like, oh, I'm going to quit too. So did you not just believe in anything that you were talking about the past 6 months, or were you just saying nonsense? To be honest, I don't think people quit IM if they're using the products. Like, it makes no sense. Like, Jason Brown always says that. He's like, I don't care when people leave, because that means they weren't just using what they were paying for anyway. So they're it is what it is. Right? So this past 3 months were the perfect moment to become self-aware. It was the perfect moment to learn where you need to grow. And it's not too late. We're about to have a lot of momentum coming out of Houston, going into Q1, the new year, new me people, right? The tax, whatever, when you get your taxes back, your tax money back, those people are all getting started soon. They're all getting started soon. But I really, really challenge you guys. Like, a couple things. Number one, review those skill sets. Where are you ranked in those skill sets? Where do you need to grow? Number two, how much emphasis are you putting on duplicating what you've learned to other people? Even if you have one person on your team, do you hop on training and then don't go talk to them about it? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, my team's not big enough yet. Well, it's never going to get big if you don't go off and go duplicate. You don't just start doing chairman things or FTMO funded things when you get there. You do it when you're not there. That's the only way to get to that place. Number three, really ask yourself, really review your plan. I review, bro, this is my baby. I don't go anywhere without this. This is always in my backpack. This is always on me. And I do it as accountability to myself. Because if I'm not getting the results I want, I just got to go look at what I did. If I'm having a bad day, what did I do? Maybe I don't need to hang around that group of people. Maybe I don't need to wake up that late. Maybe I don't need to go to bed that late. Maybe I need to fill in the blank, whatever it is for you. All right? Your work ethic. And then number 4 is self-awareness. Self-awareness of you, self-awareness of your surroundings, self-awareness of your business. And guys, I think honestly, that's probably going to be the one that takes the longest. That's going to be the one that takes the longest, but it can be expedited through experience. It can be expedited through personal development. It can be expedited by going to conventions and learning from other people. It can be expedited by hopping on calls, asking questions, right? It can be expedited. It can happen much faster than you think it can. So guys, we've been going now for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I think, since the recording started. So, we are how many days away? Like 7 days away from Houston. If you haven't got your ticket yet, get it. Full send. Trust me. If you're on the edge of, I don't know if I should go or if I should go, whatever it may be, trust me, go. Like if you're worried about, okay, well, I don't have my living accommodations yet, we'll help you figure it out. If you don't know how to get there, we'll help you figure it out. Like guys, like we are the masters of solutions. Like we are if you live in Canada, you're definitely not coming, right? It ain't happening, right? But beyond the point, if you're in the US, no excuse. No excuse. Guys, if I told you, I'll leave it with this. Like if I gave you a Lamborghini and I said, listen, the Lamborghini is going to cost you $1,000. But if you give me $1,000 right now, would you give me it? Of course you would. Of course you would, because you know that Lambo, you can go sell it for 120, 160, 200, whatever. You need to look at your investment into this convention, into this business as the same exact thing. Yeah, you may not get the $120,000 later, right away. My bad. You may not get the $120,000 right away, but it is coming. It is coming, and it will come. If you learn the skill sets, you duplicate it to other people, you continue that work ethic, and you become self-aware. So guys, I appreciate you. I love y'all. If you need anything for your teams, if you need calls, if you need trainings, if you have questions, I'm always a message away. Let's get it. Enjoy the rest of your guys' week. Also, plug into the system. Shout out to JLo, shout out to Ari for creating that amazing weekly schedule. The team trainings for the products are amazing. The go lives are amazing. The op calls are amazing. Y'all are savages. I love y'all. So y'all are the realists. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, JLo. Guys, take advantage of their hard work because they didn't do it for them. They did it for you. Love y'all. Chat soon.